obviously, you had a week to prepare for going to West Point. What was that week kind of looking like? How did that work out for you guys?
Yeah, it's been really good to have that extra prep time when you're playing against the option like Army. Obviously, it's something you don't see very often. And then the other aspect of it defensively, they run predominantly an odd front and blitz and do a lot of stuff out of it too. So just a lot of unique stuff. Even in special teams, they're very unique, very diverse. So it's been really good to have that extra prep time.
To kind of have to prepare for that offense, what does that look like for you guys? Has it been difficult to prepare for that?
No, I wouldn't use the word difficult. The preparation's been really good. The look that we're getting from the scout team, the execution, the organization from our coaching staff, our players, we've been really pleased with it. As you know, though, you just can't simulate the speed of that stuff. So that's the biggest challenge. We got to go in there and we can't panic. The speed is going to look entirely different. We've done a really good job of grabbing some of our better athletes, regardless of the position they're playing. And Chris Satterfield has run quarterback. He's a corner all week. He's very dynamic, and a couple wing backs too, just to really get that speed. So our guys got to take really, really good angles. But no, preparation's been good. It's just you can never simulate that stuff from a speed standpoint.
What are your expectations for this Saturday based off
Oh, it's to go and to play really, really hard. To me, it really starts with having a grasp and a concept of what we get to do. We're going to one of the most historic institutions in the United States of America to play a football game against a team that is. I have the utmost respect for those young men and women that go to those places. They're some of the best that our country has to offer. They're elite intellectually, and then you take that and you put their athletic ability with it too, which is just a super rare combination. So to me, it's just to respect the game, respect the place that we're going, play really hard. To me, the first two games of the week or year, the two teams that they just bludgeoned to death, we got to go up there and be aggressive. They've got really, really good athletes, but we've got to play hard, assignment football, and just the big thing is to get better from week one versus UTEP. That's what we're really looking for.
What have the players' reactions been kind of going into this week, knowing that they're going to be going out to West Point to go to that environment too?
Yeah, they're very excited. They're very excited. We're going to West Point. It's on national television. It's just to get on a chance to get on a plane to be together. They're very, very excited. I think you guys all know this, but I keep saying it. We're just happy to be playing football. It's really, when you have a game on, game off, game on, it really starts building that Monday when the actual game's coming up. And so they've been very excited and looking forward to the challenge.
And Coach, you've talked about how excited you are as a coach to go here. You grew up watching them and everything. I guess what's your excitement for this week finally being here?
Yeah, it's obviously I had a chance to watch them on the game Saturday. They played Cincinnati. It was a really, really good game, but it's just a historic time. Like I said, grew up watching that Army-Navy game, and Coach Monken, I think, is a great coach. I think their staff does a phenomenal job. So just a chance to go in that environment. I'm very excited as a head football coach, and our coaching staff is as well.
And we've talked about this so many times, but you can just, speak on the importance that this does for Allen Christian football and just putting your name on a bigger scale and national culture.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime any sport gets on national television, it does more than the studies show you. It does more than just help the athletic department. It helps the school in general. And so, we're very excited about that, to have that opportunity, and we want to represent ACU in a really, really positive light.
Do you know if Kobe Clark is going to be ready to play this Saturday?
You know what? Kobe Clark was not, we were told, wasn't going to play. He practiced yesterday, and I said, nah, probably not. And he told me he was playing Saturday, so I guess he's playing.
Right.
So he's going.
We talked last week about situationally when you like to use Samaje and kind of the different quarterbacks. When is the best situation to put Samaje in the game?
Yeah, that's difficult. This week's going to be very difficult because the opposing team's only allowing, you're only getting about 50 snaps when you play Army, maybe less because of the ball control. I'm not going to go into too much detail from a strategic standpoint, but we've had some injuries at other positions, and so he's going to play a lot at a lot of different positions this week out of necessity. And he's excited about that. He just wants to play and get on the field, and so are we.
Kind of expanding on that, he didn't see a whole lot of time on the field against UTEP. Obviously, you mentioned that he's going to be involved in some key spots throughout the game in Army. What can we expect in his role throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, I can't answer that. It's just really a week-to-week deal. Unequivocally, he is the most gifted football player on our team from a football IQ standpoint, body control, to be able to play running back, to be able to play quarterback, to be able to play slot, to be able to play wide receiver, special teams. And so, I told him yesterday, unfortunately for him, he's the most diverse dude we got. So it's like anytime somebody goes down, he's the one that gets plugged in there. But, I want to be really clear because this is a shout out to him. He doesn't care. I mean, that kid is so selfless. He just wants to play. And that's it. Whatever you say, he says, Coach, I don't care. I just want to play. And so to answer that, it's really a week-to-week deal based on where we are with potentially COVID, where we are with injuries. And we do have some of those right now. So we're just doing the best we can. He's doing an awesome job.
After watching that Cincinnati Army game this past week, what stuck out to you about Army in that loss? First
Yeah.
loss of the season.
Say that one more time.
What stuck out to you in that matchup with Cincinnati and Army?
Yeah, the thing that really stood out to me was how aggressive Army was on defense. They did some things that they didn't do in the first two games, but they were winning heavily in those first two games. But they were super aggressive, played a lot more man coverage, blitzed a lot. Really forced Cincinnati, I thought, to get a little uncomfortable in their run game. So, was just challenging them and daring them to beating them up over the top. And then the diversity of their offense. Obviously, they threw the ball more Saturday than we've seen, and we saw a lot of new formations, unbalanced. Same run plays, but just different looks, which is hard because then you got to get your run fits off of it.
So you talked a little bit about the fact that you probably won't get a whole lot of snaps.
Yeah.
Does that make every snap much more important?
Yeah, it does, and we've been talking about that for 2 weeks. I really try to get the guys in the mindset every snap counts in college football, and it does. So much more when you play an option team. You can't have negative plays. You got to get rid of the penalties. Got to take care of the football. And then the flip side on defense, man, you've got to try to create some negative plays. You got to try to get them to put the ball on the ground. I don't know the exact number, but I think last year they were first in the country in going for it on fourth down. But I think that's been a real consistent theme. They're going to go for it on fourth down no matter where they're at in the field. If it's 4th and 3 or less, a really good chance they're going to go for it. So getting the defense in the mindset of it's not playing 3 downs and getting off the field, you're going to have to play 4 downs. And the same, we have to go up there and be aggressive knowing we're not going to have many snaps.
And a lot of times you've got to be defensively. You got to, a lot of times you're good in the game. You get some negative plays. Defensively on the offense. And when you run those options, a lot of times it's hard to really get those negative plays. And sometimes you have to be happy that, hey, we held them to 1 or 2 yards here.
Yeah, absolutely. If they're running the dive, which they love to do, they're a predominantly dive quarterback run team. And, yeah, if you're giving up some 3 yards on that stuff, that's not always bad. You just can't go 3-4, 3-4 because that's when they just absolutely chop you in half. You have to make some calculated risks. You got to change up your looks and just try to get them to get some negative plays because if not, boy, they're just really, really good at staying on schedule.
And then talk about, you've played some FBS teams since you've been here. How does Army compare to the other people you've played?
Well,
just in terms of how good they are.
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah.
And making that trip.
Yeah, they're really good, Joe. They're not a fluke, man. I know last year, this is when you listen to the Army people, that they were very disappointed in their season last year. To me, you look this year, the growth is really starting at the quarterback position for them. That young man's playing really, really well. The fullbacks, just, I think one of them's 240 and the other one's 260. They're running really hard. But what really stood out to me is the athleticism on their defense. Their 2 defensive ends, their length, their ex-backer into the boundary, their Mike in the wheel. I mean, they're hard-nosed. They play that 30 front, and they're really hard-nosed, and for as long and big as they are, man, they run really well too. So just the athleticism of their defense really stands out to me as well too.
And you talked about what this trip means to you personally.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure it's a big one for your kids too. How do you not go in there and just be in awe of the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm confident we won't do that. I think we'll go in there and get in there Friday, relax, have meetings, and have fun. We're excited that it's a day game. It's a kickoff. We're going to get up and have pregame meal, and then hotel's about 30 minutes away from base, drive on to base and get going. For us, I'll be honest, Joe, what helps you is the style of play. If you're going to sit around and try to be in awe of them, you're going to get chopped in half in the first quarter. So I think the necessity of the physicality and the brutality that they bring to the table, I think gets guys' attention and is going to get guys really focused from the first snap.
Is this going to be kind of trench warfare?
Yeah, absolutely, it will be. Yeah, it's not going to be any pretty. It's never what defensive linemen in modern day college football sign up for. They love rushing the passer, but our guys, I love our guys. I think they've got a great mentality. They're looking at it as a huge challenge, and they've just got to get down and be dirty. And we've talked about it all week. The preparation and the physicality and the violence. You have to try to match that with them, or it's just you're going to have a lot of problems.